Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Podriplegics podcast. We are in the midst of our relationship series. Today, we'll be talking strictly about sex. This is not for individuals under the age of 18 unless you have parental consent. So if you are under the age of 18, please ask your parent or your guardian or something of the sort. There will be mature language and content involved in this episode. I got to get through these housekeeping items as always because Eric does not let me not do them.
That's right.
You'll see later he tries to use. Anyways, I'm just going to leave that be. We are sponsored by the Arizona Spinal Cord Injury Association. You can find them at azspinal.org or you can call them at 602-507-4209. Ask for Eric. Call him at any time of the day, any time of the night. He prefers about the 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. phone calls. Those ones are the best.
One of these days they're going to call me. Oh, my God. I just know it.
And if you really want, you can send me a message. I'll throw you his cell phone number in case he doesn't answer that. That way you can call him on his cell phone number. This podcast can be found on YouTube. That is YouTube Podriplegics. Like quadriplegics, but with pod instead. azspinal.org/podcast. On Facebook, I use a wheelchair, yes, I have a life, and the Arizona Spinal Cord Injury Group. Also, audio-wise, you can find us on Spotify and on iTunes. Don's not here, so Eric and myself have however many years, I don't feel like doing the math, of living with a disability. We are not medical professionals, so if you are having medical issues, please contact your doctor. We are here only to give our experiences, to talk about what we have dealt with in the years of our injuries and living with a disability. Again, like I said, there will be mature language and content. Don't sue me or anybody else, just sue Eric. That's written there, word for word.
Word for word.
And Eric sent that to me, by the way, so that's written word for word. And then
There's some
just
creative editing.
Do us a favor. Click subscribe, leave a comment, and click the notifications on for our YouTube or for Spotify or iTunes. You'll be notified every time a new episode comes out. If you leave a comment, we will definitely try to get to it. There's a lot, so we pick out the ones that are usually the best that's suited for whatever our episode is. So just leave a comment and hit subscribe. You'll be helping us, help you. Everybody wins. Again, like I said, we're on our relationship series. Laronda has been with us from the very beginning of the relationship series. But today we also have Meagan Blau. Meagan, do you want to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your disability and injury?
Yeah, sure. My name is Meagan Blau. Hi. I am 28 and I've had my injury for 11 years. So I have a spinal cord injury. I'm a C8 quadriplegic, so one of those weird in-betweeners, I guess. And I broke my C6 when I dove into a pool and hit the bottom. So I was 17 when it happened.
All right. Well, we're glad you're here with us. I'm sure you'll be able to add to this conversation. In the beginning of our relationship series, we did dating. We also then delved into Laronda's favorite topic, which is devotees.
But by the way, I heard Rhonda has some updates on that. Do we want to get into that today or not?
No, we'll get into that one on another one because I think today we're going to be stretched for time on what we want to talk about anyway. So today with the relationship series, we're going to be strictly talking about sex, sexual functions, how it is that we go about maintaining our healthy sex lives or maybe unhealthy sex lives, however you want to look at it. And yeah, we're just going to be talking about that and giving some of our experiences. Eric, I know you probably want to start off. I know you brought some props with you today.
I
So
did.
This is your ball game. So throw out the first pitch, my friend.
Well, okay. So let's start the scenario. The scenario is we've gone through dating. We've found a person. We're at this point, we're coming home and it's time, you know, I mean, the kiss needs to happen or something needs to happen and people are getting, you know, anxious, excited, and here we go. So couple props I got with me. So some of the things we got, not spicing it up, you know, the underclothes. I mean, you know, here's some of the guys' underwears that are out there, you know?
And see, I guess I'm just not, me personally, I'm not a really big fan of clothing.
What about that?
No.
So you just want them to take it off right away?
Take it off. I just want to
get
get
it
it
off.
Like,
just
take it off.
I have to know from a guy's perspective, like, does your underwear make you feel sexy? Like a woman in like a lot of women wear lingerie for themselves.
Like this one right here.
Yeah, does your Superman underwear like make you feel good?
Lourdes likes it. You know, my wife likes it. She likes that
okay.
one.
For me, it's not a big. It's not a thing. It's, you know, I mean, underwear is underwear for me. I wear something that's comfortable because I sit all day, right? So for me, like the last thing I want to do is transfer over just to change into some underwear that I'm going to take off. Doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
But, like with this stuff,
everybody
right here,
has their own thing.
Like with these boxers, you know.
Oh no, you don't get no like with those boxers.
Well, okay, so I like boxers if that's all I'm gonna wear. But if I gotta wear with clothes and stuff, it starts getting shifted and tangled. Next thing I got
with your wife, you might get some with those on. But if it's a girlfriend and you're trying to impress, you ain't getting none with those.
Okay, yeah, I don't think girls are impressed by guys' underwear. Like, I think that we might like judge if they're gross or judge if like they're the wrong kind. But there's not like, like there's just not kinds that are gonna like turn you on like a girl in lingerie would. You know.
Now I got a bunch of female lingerie here. I got this stuff. You know.
Oh, okay. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. Okay, you guys.
Did you ever wear this?
First. I don't wear lingerie.
Okay.
I don't own a piece. I do not own that one piece of lingerie.
So no underwear like this?
No.
No, I like to wear lingerie. I'm married. I've been married for 5 years, and I've been with my husband for 9 years. So I think after a while you do have to spice it up. But like I said, like it's mostly for me, kind of for him too. I mean, he enjoys it, but yeah.
You know, that's a very good. I like that statement because you need to feel beautiful about who you are too. You know, when you're doing this, and sometimes people will wear the clothing that makes them feel beautiful. You know, like I like this one. This one's really nice. This one's
right. Well, I think is that the whole lingerie thing. Like, you know, I'm more of the bra panties type girl. I don't do the like all the extra.
Yeah, see, this is just hooking into stuff. That's just like
I wouldn't even know how to put it on. I ain't gonna even lie to you.
I don't have instructions here either, so I don't know.
Right.
I think it's fun to try, especially with like a trusted person, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, if a first date you need to whip it out.
With us, you know, sexuality in itself is a lot of times enhanced or in I guess for us is more of a mental you know, as a part of physical type of situation, you know. I mean, as speaking as a quadriplegic male, right? I mean, my sensation level is very low. All these different things that cause, if just regular sex, to be kind of mundane a little bit, if I'm going to be honest with it, you know. For me, the sensuality of it is what I'm looking for. That's what kind of puts me in the mood, I guess, if that's the word, you know, what we're talking about. You know, I mean, there's nothing wrong with, you know, having a quick nooner or whatever you want to do, right? But for me, if I really want to enjoy my time or the time I'm having with somebody, sensuality is a must, you know.
Yep.
And so however you speak your love language, whatever that is, right, you need to be able to convey that to the other person, so that way that sensuality can be there.
Yeah.
Okay, that's true. That's true.
I'm with you on that one. That sensuality is a big part. I didn't realize that until later on in life, but boy, that, you know, just that gentle touch or that certain look or just, you know, that you know, a flash of something, and it's like, whoa, you know. And
You know, see, I'm a talker. You can talk my panties right off. If you can give me a good conversation, I mean, that's just me. I'm like, oh, you are so sexy. Just a good conversation. That's Laronda. It's not, I guess, I don't know.
that's
I
good to
don't care
know.
about a touch. It's like, I mean, honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I don't care. You know, I guess that all comes when we get into the motion of it. I mean, to keep it going, you know what I'm saying? Of course, you need that touch and that, but to actually get it, like, you know, get it going, you just, I mean, just be smart, can talk to me. You can get Laronda, yeah. Do anything.
So that's another part that, you know, I think is very important, is communication. You know,
Mm-hmm.
know your body, and
Mm-hmm.
that helps others to know your body through you communicating to them too. You know, let people know what you like and what
Yeah,
you
and I think where we need, maybe we should delve into a little bit deeper, is understanding what it is for yourself, right, that turns you on and is able, you know, it allows you to achieve whatever goal that is. I mean, if you can ejaculate, then whatever it is that turns you on, whatever you can use to do that, to get to that point, right? And I think a lot of us are different in that realm. You know, I mean, when you look at the stats of spinal cord injuries in itself, you know, you have to look at both incomplete and complete, right?
Yep.
So a lot of complete spinal cord injury patients or people with spinal cord injuries, they ejaculation is not really something that can happen, right? For very few of them, the percentages are low. When you look at incomplete, the percentages skyrocket. So, you know, there's many different ways to look at it. I mean, when I look at myself, I'm an incomplete injury, but ejaculation is very difficult. It's not something that I can achieve through any type of oral or intercourse or anything of the sort. I need actual tools to do that.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I use a Hitachi magic wand. And then positioning is a big deal for me too, right? So if I'm laying flat on my back, it's very difficult for me to maintain erections, to ejaculate, to do all these different things that make sex a pleasurable experience, right? For me as well as the other person. So I like to be in my chair, one, and then I need tools too, and then also I used to use Viagra, but now that the patent's up, there's so many other ones out there. I know the cheapest one you can get is sildenafil. Sildenafil you can buy. I mean, I think they're only like $1.10 a pill at this point. So,
Oh, do they work well? I mean, the same?
sure, yeah. I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same thing as Viagra. They're just their patent ran out. So now everybody can use whatever, you know, their proprietary blend of chemicals, whatever that is, that opens the valves in your penis and allows blood flow to come in. But then you also get into the issues that we had talked about before we started recording, is maintaining, right? So erection, you can get one, but then maintaining one is also a difficult thing. Those can come in handy for sure.
Okay, so
And see, for me, it's like, yeah, and see, me, I'm an incomplete para. So my whole thing is that it's positioning. It's like different positions, and I mean, maybe you're not, you know, you're now married, and you know, I was married for years, but now I'm in this dating scene, in this dating world, and that's one of the biggest like questions. that far as like when we actually go to the whole sex thing is, oh, by you being in a wheelchair, can you do this position, or I like it this way, can you do that? I get asked that a lot, kind of by different men, and it's like, like I was married forever, so I can pretty actually practice positions.
So, question for you.
How do you do that?
It's called yoga.
Yeah.
So like I'm looking at some of this stuff and I'm thinking,
Right. Well, I'm gonna tell you, Megan, when I go to therapy, like, as far as like I practice, like, maintaining like some people like it from the back, and so going to the knee position, you know what I'm saying, to have sex that way, I actually practice, because it takes strength, you know what I'm saying, or whatnot. So at night, like I do, like at night, I have like a yoga, sexual yoga thing, because I want to keep myself ready, you know what I'm saying, and I don't want to forget how to,
Sure.
how to do certain things. So at nighttime, probably once or twice a week or whatever, I stretch and I get on my knees, I stretch my legs, I do all types of stuff. And then when I do work out, I do exercises to make sure I have that strength to maintain, those positions and things of that nature. I'm kind of glad we talk about this stuff, because I think a lot of women, I don't know for sure how a lot of women in wheelchair feels, like even like getting on top, and stuff like that. Like some women won't do that. I will if you help me, and I'll tell them all I need is that initial get on that like initial help. You know what I'm saying? And we can go for it. So I'm like that person that's willing to try any positions. I don't really just like it on the back, to be really honest. So that's one thing that I think a lot of people have, that idea of us is like, okay, so, now we got this woman in this wheelchair and I want to have sex with her. Can she do this? Can she do that? Because, everybody like different, positions or whatnot. So I don't know. Have you ever had that issue? As far as like, as far as doing different positions?
No, because I mean, I do feel like I'm in a little different position. And then to back up a little bit, I feel like this conversation is so different for men and women, just like sex is for anyone. I mean, like we experience it differently. And I will say there's a lot of areas of life that I think women in wheelchairs especially like might have it a little tougher. But in my perspective, I've always been like, you know what, I think this is one area that like men might have it more difficult in this area, because in a lot of sex revolves around having a hard penis, or having an erection. And if a man has a hard time with that, like there's a lot of things around that. So just to throw that out there, like I think it's good that we have 2 girls and 2 guys, because we can share each other's perspective with that.
I think assistive devices are very handy things. For me, I like to use a Hoyer lift. I like it's kind of like a makeshift swing, right? I mean, you put your partner in a Hoyer lift, and the Hoyer lift is intended to be able to come right over top of your chair and pick you up. I mean, and then you can do whatever you feel you can feel like you're somewhat in control, as opposed to always the woman being on top of you and being in control of how, the speed, the rhythms, all those different things, right? So, Hoyer lifts work if you have one of those. I mean, I know a lot of quads do have Hoyer lifts or have lift systems in their home, right? I mean, then you can position it anywhere you want, and you can sit in your chair or in your bed and be able to position your partner right where you want them to be, and you can feel like you're in control of the action a little bit, and they also have seats, so like seats that slide, so you can use those too. Those are good for both males and females. I've used them both ways, so that you put the female on the slide and then you can feel like you're in control that way. I think
They got a slide.
so it's a chair, so like
almost like a sliding shower chair, like one of those.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, so
Ooh.
then it's on wheels. It's on a wheel and a track system, and then it slides back and forth.
Gotcha.
Oh,
So
that's
yeah,
awesome. I hadn't thought of
Oh, I
that
will be
one.
Google. I'll be googling that. That sounds very
I
interesting.
can't remember what the
Yeah.
name of it is to be off the
I'll
top of my
find it.
head. I can't remember,
Now,
but you should be able to find it pretty easy.
I
Mhm.
know, I know for me, I've had to take medication like, Viagra or something like that to be able to have sex. And so the one thing I haven't tried is these cock rings, these rings, and I think they might be. I think that might be a handy solution too.
Yeah,
Um,
you have to. Yeah, just have to be a little careful though, Eric. Those aren't meant for long term
right,
use.
right. It's like a
Um,
tourniquet, really. I mean,
yeah, I mean, depending, and then especially if you have decreased sensation, right? You may put it on too tight, and then you have a real issue on your
oh
hands.
yeah.
Um,
No, I know one of the things, they call Viagra the blue pill. And back when it was new, I got a sample of it. I tried it. And, man, I saw rainbows, and I had a headache so bad. And Shawn, I consulted with you, Shawn, after we just started doing the podcast, and it was off air, and you told me some phenomenal stuff. And I'd like, could you share that? Because I couldn't figure out how to get away from the headaches. That was actually a deterrent for me.
so that's one of the major downfalls, right? So you're taking something that in turn it's taking the blood and it's making your heart pump harder, and then it flows it to an open system in which your penis opens up the blood vessels and it becomes erect, right? And in the process of that, your blood continues to flow downward. So the problem is you get headaches, right? And even if when you're talking about stimulation, you're talking about any of these things, you can get autonomic dysreflexia type headaches, all these different things. So what I found that works out really well is this thing called nitrobid. It's a paste that comes in a tube, right? And it's meant for opening up the capillaries in the back of your head and stopping, or in your chest and your arms, and stopping. It's nitroglycerin, so it's meant to stop heart attacks and strokes and those type of things. Um, so what would do is I would take that. I would take my Viagra or my sildenafil, and then as I began to experience, if I did begin to experience slight headaches or of the sort, you take it, you just put a tiny bit right on your skin, and within 5 minutes, it starts to relieve those issues. Now you have to be a little bit careful of how long you keep it on for and all that stuff. I would suggest you consult your physician. It is prescription anyways, so you're going to have to consult the physician anyways, and they can direct you on how long to keep it on and for whatever. But it helps me tremendously when it comes to ejaculation, because ejaculation for me is instant autonomic dysreflexia. I mean, super pounding headaches. It's almost not pleasurable, to be 100% honest with you. So by using that, I can relieve some of those, whatever you want to call them, those side effects of autonomic dysreflexia, and then it becomes a more pleasurable experience.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna, Laronda, you asked me about like positioning and things like that as a woman before. And I've gone through, so my husband is the second person that I had intercourse with after my injury. I was 17 when it happened, so pretty young. And then I met him when I was 19. And I had like other sexual experiences, but he's been my first one, really like my main one. So being with the same person for 9 years, I think has, it's helped with like my confidence a lot and trust too. Like I think it would be difficult to, if you're just dating and then like maybe the first couple times, maybe not. I mean, I don't know. I'm just kind of speculating. But when you're with somebody and you love them and you have that bond, it's easier to try different positions. So like what you're saying, Laronda, I do all of those positions with my husband like regularly. So
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're right. Like I said, initially dating the first time, I haven't, unfortunately, my sex life is like non-existent right now. I should say that. Look at me. You see how sad I am.
Yeah.
Not healthy, Laronda.
It's
That's not
okay.
healthy.
Corona messed it up, man.
We got to work on that, people. We got to work on this.
Yeah, for
It's
us single people,
COVID.
Corona really put a
It's
hit on.
COVID.
Yeah,
It's COVID.
Corona's
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, I don't want to catch COVID.
Yeah, and then people just like shut down in their house. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I think it's important to know that I think that obviously like all the general rules of sex apply to sex with a disability. Like if it's working, keep doing it. It can also work and then stop working. And so you can switch it up then. Nothing is weird. Well, there's might be a couple things that might be weird, but for the most part, nothing is weird. So like
Right.
not feeling any embarrassment or shame of, asking for help or needing tools or needing toys or needing things. There's no shame in it. So
And
yeah.
everything can happen, I mean, that's the thing, when two people are laying naked and playing around with their bodies and stuff and having fun with sex, I mean, anything really is possible at that point. A lot of things could happen. And so I think you're right on, to not be embarrassed by whatever is going to happen and just work through it and just say, hey, this is just what it is,
But
Yeah.
it's because like I'm that person. Like that first time, it's very, I'm gonna be honest, it's very like not, I'm like, dang, I can't wait till the second time, because I think after that first time, it's always I'm more comfortable, like you see, like we're more comfortable that second time. And then my whole thing is that if I'm not getting pleased, I don't even want to have sex. So I think I get out of it kind of really quick, because it's like, okay, I'm doing this with with an agenda. I need something to happen. So I need to let him know that, okay, that ain't working for me. We need to do something different or whatnot. So that's like really on the second date. The second date, the first time, or not the second date. I'm not giving it up that easy.
It's okay if you do.
Look at me. Did you see my face, Megan?
No slut shaming here.
Wow. Wow.
Did you see my face?
You got
Oh
zoomed
my
in
God.
real quick on that one.
Yeah, I had sex with my husband the second time I met him, so throw it out there for his family to know.
I'm not even gonna tell you some of the things that I have done.
Yeah,
like literally, because like I look at it as, I'm gonna be honest. I always say protection first. I'm gonna go with that straight up. Always use protection. You know what I'm saying, or whatnot. But I am a very sexual person. I can't date you if you are not high functioning in sex. If your sex life is non-existent, or if we're together, we're not fucking just once a week. I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I have to have sex. Sex to me is a big part of if you want to be in a relationship with me. So I'm a very upfront person. So I actually have conversations. I don't mind having a conversation. I tell them, oh, I can do this, I can do that. What's your favorite? You know what I'm saying? What's your favorite position or whatnot? Because I'm not just going to be having sex for you to be pleased. I got to get mine too. And that's exactly how I approach the situation. So the first one is kind of pretty much, I take that line back. It depends on how attracted I am to you. If I'm really, really attracted to you, we probably can go and do everything. I will try anything once type of girl. And a lot of people get shocked, like even when they see me, and it's like, I don't know, it's like I'm just that person. I'm very comfortable with my body. I know what I like, I know what I don't like. And I don't mind, kind of voicing, because I don't want you wasting my time. Because I get an attitude when it's bad. Like if it's bad sex.
Yeah, and I mean, the first couple times, like your chemistry just might not be off. You might not be in sync, and I don't mean to like hit it and quit it, or also ignore red flags. But sometimes you just need like a couple times, like you're saying, to get a little bit comfortable with the person and like and be like, oh, okay, like this actually can work. So I think it's important to know. I think personally, more rules of sex apply to people with disabilities than like that also apply to normal people, like, or able-bodied people, whatever. It's nerve-wracking for a lot of people the first time. Like it is. It's nervous. It could be awkward. Like Eric said, you don't know anything could happen. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. So just taking your disability out of that, like, you're not
exactly
special, you're normal, you know, and I think it's good to know that over and over again. And then Laronda, I mean, it's taken, I'm sure over time, like, you've developed this confidence, and I would recommend to like anyone listening who's struggling with this, like, just take a little bit of what you said that you have and maybe be like, oh, I wish I was more confident in my body, like Laronda said that she is, and like just work on that, you know.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you, play with yourself. Like, I mean, and honestly, that's how, you know, how I got to where I am now. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a problem with it. I'm like, hey, COVID has stopped a whole lot of stuff from happening. So you gotta be creative, because you're a woman. You mean you're a human, and you want that, especially if you're a really sexually active person. You know what I'm saying? You have to be comfortable with your body. So you have to. I used to have a hard time masturbating. Now I don't got no problem at all. COVID is like, get it together, heifer. You know what I'm saying, or whatnot. So I don't have, but it did take me some time to get there. And I think that, you know, women and my sister, me and my sister, we talk about this like kind of all the time or whatnot. I'm very open with, like, I'm very open with sex because we're grown, and it's God made it for us, you know. So why not? But you have to be comfortable with your body. You know, I think if you can masturbate, I think you can do anything. So be comfortable, you know, with your body. Look at some of Eric tools that he has.
Yeah,
you know,
Eric's got
the
all
tools. You know, we got. Well, here we go. The Austin Powers tool.
Oh, no, come on, Eric. I see. I'm just scared of that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm scared of that one.
Well,
Laronda,
that's for men.
fun.
So
I know, but I don't want to see a man come. Okay, if you use it with Laronda, use it before I get there. Make sure I'm in the bathroom. You
Keep
know,
this a mystery.
this one's more.
I get there.
This one's more for the ladies.
I'm gonna say I don't think that's fair.
You don't think
I don't think that's fair out of you two.
Why?
To keep the
Because
mystery.
you talk about you're sitting there talking about how we should be comfortable with
Mm-hmm.
what we need to do in order to have sex and to be pleasurable. What if that's part of what we need to do to have sex to be comfortable? Now you're telling me that don't do it when I'm around.
No.
All of a sudden you're shutting me out. You're making it to where like I'm out.
That's
I
a good
don't
point,
want to
Shawn.
fuck you no more.
No.
I'm
I think my whole thing is that I guess if it's there and we're actually at that level, and if that's how you can get it there, I mean, I ain't got no choice because I'm gonna want you regardless. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to want you regardless. But like I said, I'm afraid of it. I mean, I'm just afraid of it. You know, it's just the truth of the fact. It just looks scary.
Well,
you know,
but
it's scary to us too. Imagine having to put your penis inside there and pump it. That ain't that's
right.
Not,
right. I mean,
it's a scary thing to do.
It's and you know, it is a toy. So you know, one of the things, all like that penis pump I just showed you, you know, that creates suction is all it does. And so it just all it does is it creates a suction that allows you to have an experience similar to what it would be like to have sex. That's really all it does. Yeah. So it's
actually meant to bring the blood to the penis and make the penis erect. And once the penis is erect, you take it off, you use a cock ring or something of the sort, and if you need to maintain an erection.
See, he's the expert.
I think that's what they use in porno. They gotta use it as a porno.
Instead of that, I actually recommend, especially for couples, it's called the Hot Octopus Pulse Duo Lux. So it's I
gotta look that up.
So
that's quite the name.
Put it over the shaft, okay, and it vibrates on both sides. All right. So for men who maybe can't maintain a very hard erection or a good erection, you can still get the vibrations, the stimulatory situation that you need in order for maybe to having some enjoyment and ejaculation, but also your partner can sit on top of you and then also have the same, and you can change it so it's Bluetooth. It's got a little controller too.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I
And
got to
You
show
see
you a
my
picture of
face?
this.
multiple different vibration settings.
Yeah.
and it's on both sides.
Let me
So-
show you a picture of it real quick, guys. I think I just got a picture. Let me. What's the best way? I'll show you.
Yeah, Shawn, I'm glad that you said that because I don't think, like I said before, I don't think you should be ashamed if you need any toys at all. But
All right.
you know, if someone hasn't seen something before too, you can be like, "What is that?" Like,
Sure.
like what
Sure, I
Laronda
mean, I
said.
get it.
Yeah. You gotta
Sorry,
do what you gotta
Shawn.
do.
It's okay.
Okay, so this just very
That was a good
quickly.
thing to put up.
I'm just
That's
sharing
not
this.
it.
That's not it.
The one, the
Okay.
one on the left is, and the one on the right is.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
what
that
you do is you insert your penis inside of that, right? And it vibrates on the inside, which you really want to put on the glands at the very tip, at the bottom of the tip. Look, I'm gonna get scientific with you, with you guys here. At the very tip, that's where you want to place your vibratory stimulation, right? Because they're called the perineal or some glands or whatever. All right. And then so you can do that and then on the other side, when your partner is sitting or straddling you or laying on top of you or however you decide to position, right, it can vibrate on both sides of it. And you can change the vibration on either one. So if I need a higher vibration than you do, you can change them separately.
Oh, that's interesting.
Right, Megan. I got to order one of those.
So
Yeah.
each person could have a remote control, and you could be sitting across the room and turning each other on.
They're pretty nice. I personally don't. I don't think that the amplitude is high enough for me in order to get to ejaculate. For me, it has to be an extremely high amplitude. That's why I use the Hitachi Magic Wand, and I use the older version because with the newer version they actually slow down the amps on it. So I have one of each, and the old one works way better. So if you can try to find one of those, that's even better because you need a certain frequency, right, in order for it to stimulate and open up the glands for you to reach ejaculation. I mean, there's a couple of different ways to do it. It's penile vibration, which we've been talking about quite a bit. And then there's also electro ejaculation. And that's done more of like in a doctor's office setting, where they take a probe and they put it in through your anus up to your, your prostate, and then they send out electrical stimuli, and it opens up, and then allows you to ejaculate.
Wow.
Would that be what some people would use for like IVF or things?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, yeah, and also if you say you want to have children, right? And you can't ejaculate from actual, intercourse, you would need to go to a doctor and use one of these two methods. So yeah.
Right.
Well,
I admire you guys. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I truly admire. It's look at me. Yeah, he's got me looking at things, but I truly, truly admire you guys and all the things that you have to do. I mean, I don't know if I should say that or whatever. But
can't be any easier for you two, though. I mean, seriously, it's a wild world out there,
Yeah, and I think that Laronda said something that is the most paramount out of everything, and that's you have to be comfortable with yourself and your body and your image and what it is. Because if you're uncomfortable in that, like, it's going to be so hard to be able to tell somebody else how you like things, or if you hard to even know yourself what you like. Once
the disappointment, Shawn. Like, the disappointment, that's a hard one. That's hard. Like, if you have sex with someone and you can't perform the way they want you to perform, and they stop talking to you or never want to talk to you again, And, you know, and some people, you know, they may be blunt and say, oh, well, I just didn't like having sex with you, you know, because of, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I say that confidence, you know, really has to be there, because it's just life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's something that men deal with like quite heavily. You know, I mean, with porn the way it is nowadays, you know, a lot of people think that that's how sex is supposed to be, or maybe that's how they like sex, you know. And when you're in a chair, or you're say you're a higher quad or something of the sort, actually being able to get on top of somebody and, you know what I mean, do what you see in all these different images and videos is pretty difficult. I'm not saying it's impossible, but what I will say is
Right.
very difficult. And so I think you need to curb expectations as well when you're talking about a partner, right? When you're about to be intimate or have intercourse with somebody of the sort, you have to curb expectations on that and see what it is they're expecting, because it's different, right? Sex with somebody who is, say, my level of a C5, right, is a very different thing than a guy who's 6'5", 260, and jacked, who can pick you up, throw you up against the wall, choke slam you, and hammer time nail you. You know what I mean? Like, it's just different. It's a different sex. It's a different way
Exactly.
of going about it. It's more of a sensual activity.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to make sure that that's understood, because if you're dating somebody of able body, they may have never been involved with somebody who has a disability, so they don't know that. They don't know any different. Like, they don't know how it works. So the communication is key, and understanding yourself is key. I think you guys have all said that very well.
Right. So, yeah, but sex is more, like I said, and I was like, you know, I always get the, um, I hate, what's the name? Do it hurt? I'm not hurting you. I'm like, oh, like,
Yeah.
if you don't get off of me or go about your business with this, I'm like, that's a,
I'm not a
that's
doll.
exactly, like, I'm not going to, if you can break my leg, and if I can break, if it's that easy, you know what I'm saying? We got a problem.
You got
I
to
got a problem.
get some more calcium.
Exactly, something. So yeah, so it is a lot. Like I said, we just have to be, you know, that's why I'm for most of uplifting women that are disabled, or women in general, because, you know, you have to be comfortable, you know, especially being disabled. I don't care what nobody says, it's just hard. You have to be comfortable with who you are, as, you know, as a person. I look in the mirror every day and tell myself I'm bad as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a cusser too, Meagan. Sorry, but
Yeah.
that's just, you know, that's just how I, you know, I have to look at myself. And every day, nobody tells me that I'm pretty, or that I'm this or I'm that. I tell myself, and that's good enough, you know, good enough for me. And I tell lot of women, like a lot of my friends that I see, they settle. You know, they settle because they don't want to wait. Shoot, I'm gonna wait because I can't settle.
Yeah.
Never settle.
Bravo.
Dating's
Bravo.
hard.
You shouldn't. Yeah, dating's hard. I mean, dating's hard for anyone.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
marriage is hard, and marriage can be hard for a lot of people. Like, there's just a lot of things
Yeah.
Just
that go into a relationship.
yeah,
And look,
relationship.
I'll say to a lot of people on here too, who maybe are new, right? Who are newly disabled, or, you know, who are able-bodied before and then disabled, right? Newly disabled. You have to understand, right, that it takes time to get comfortable with what's going on, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
need to invest that time in yourself. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you need to invest time in yourself, understanding yourself sexually, right? What feels good, what doesn't, where, you know,
Mm-hmm.
how does, you know, how can I ejaculate, how can I not, all these different things that you need to do, because if you don't do that when you go to be in a relationship with somebody, or go to have sexual relations with somebody, it's going to be very difficult for you to try to explain to them why it is you couldn't do this or you couldn't do that, or what,
Exactly.
you
Yep.
know.
Mhm.
So it leads to a letdown, and then that also hurts you more. I'm sure more than it does them. You know, so
Yes, it does.
No, I'm
I
in
mean,
full agreement with that.
it took
yeah.
a long time for me to understand a lot of these things that I'm talking about right now. Took a
Mhm.
lot of work, a lot of time. You know, multiple partners helping me with different things. You know what I mean? Like a lot of fails. There's a lot of fails. I have a lot of failed experiences. You know, so you know it's not all sunshine and rainbows over here. You know, so you know but you have to be not be scared of that. You have to not be
Right,
scared of failing.
exactly.
You have to
Mhm.
be able to be honest and open
Mhm.
and hope everything that it works out. I guess you know.
Right.
Yeah. One other thing I would say too is in the beginning, especially for women too, like you can kind of make a game about what you need or what you're looking for too, and like make it fun, make it sexy, make it playful. You don't have to like have a sit down at dinner and be like, okay, these are like my problems and this is my body and this, you know, you don't have to be like in a doctor's office, like when a doctor's talking to you about sex. So I don't know. I would suggest like playing around with that, whether you're in a relationship or you're dating around, like, you know, be assertive in a sexy way, like send a picture, like tell someone how you like it. Like that doesn't have to be like all around your disability. It could just be like foreplay.
Exactly. Foreplay is a big part of it. Foreplay. That's what was like this when I was telling you before recording. It's a difference. Preparation and foreplay is like you know, it is a difference. And I mean, you know, foreplay is a big part of it, and that gives you the opportunity to see what you like or what you don't like, and what you're able to do and what you're not able, you know, you're not able to do, and things of that nature. So and you know, to be honest, is like, you know, I think that once you start with the foreplay and everything, most people, I think they get it. They sometimes they get it. You know what I'm saying? Like some people can grasp and be like, okay, this is working for her. You know what I'm saying? Or this is working for both of us. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of gravitate. Most people that you know what I'm saying? I found that like some people just want to get on and just do their thing. You know, they don't care. But most people that's in it for like a good sexual experience or whatnot, they sometimes they think that they kind of know. You know what I'm saying? They kind of know what's working.
Yeah, I would say that to all my male quaddies out there, man. Like master the art of foreplay because that is where you should be playing. That is your wheelhouse. That is how you get it done. And in my experiences, right? I mean, if you can create a vibe, an environment, you can do the right things as far as foreplay goes, the sex is gonna be good. It doesn't matter, right? Like
And
because
there you go. There you
like
go.
they're already there. You know what I mean? So if you can master those things and find your spot right there, your little comfort zone right in that and inside those parameters, I think a lot of times you're going to please your partner. You know, and
Right.
I know a lot of guys who are in chairs who are disabled. That's a big deal for them.
Right.
Is
Yeah.
being able to, what do I do or how can I, if I can't do what they do on these videos, how can I please a woman, right? So then they don't even try.
Yeah. I got
Foreplay
a
is,
friend I got a friend that's a quad, and he can tell you the master of oral. When I mean he is a master, you know what I'm saying? He is a master in oral sex. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, dang, you know, just talking about it, I'd be like, okay, you know,
yeah.
that's how good he is. I mean, and he's married, happily married. You know, wife is, you know. So I mean that's a good thing, you know, that's a good thing. Master oral.
Yeah. And look, there's tools you can use for that too. So like I have a little thing that I put on my thumb, okay? And it's a little vibratory stimulator that you just put right over your thumb. So when you're doing oral and the stuff of the sort, you know, your fingers and hands may not be functioning very well, but you can still use a tool on your thumb, right, that will create just as much stimulation as anybody with their hands, right? I mean, so
Exactly.
you have to figure those things out. You have to play around, like Megan said. You have to be open, make it a game, try to figure it out, right? I mean, be open, honest, and discuss that with your partner.
Yeah, it's a fun game too. I mean,
It is a fun
there's like
game.
no more fun game in life. It's like not a bad thing to practice at, you know.
Exactly.
And for guys, I would just say like most women prefer foreplay over actual sex too. So you have an advantage there. If you can be good at foreplay, you're going to be better than 99% of men in the world. And that's what women tend to respond to more. So,
Yeah.
so don't let that like keep you down just because you can't perform.
And I do get questions too about positioning when it comes to that. So if I could for 1 second talk about that. For me, what works is I have a disabled, fully handicap accessible bathroom. Okay. My chair can fit very perfectly underneath of an open area by the sink, right? Put them on there. You can get right up in there, and you don't have to worry about falling over, positioning differently in the bed. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff because you're already in your chair and you're in a comfortable position, and you can just lean forward and you can handle business that way. Also, desks, ping pong tables. I mean, any of these things, right? Things that you can get your chair under.
Educate them, Shawn. Educate them. That's right, Megan. My family, well, my sisters and us, a lot of women, like you said, no Earl, no. If you can't do that, you can't even get to the second part if there's no oral.
Right? Yeah.
Honestly, you can't even pass it.
They're bases
no
for a reason.
Right.
You can't go from third to home.
Yeah, you cough.
Or second to home, I guess.
Yeah, that's cheating. That's
cheating.
There you go. So to answer that.
Skipping
yeah, and same like positioning, Shawn, like same for girls too. You can stay in your chair and give a good blowjob, and it's great positioning. You don't have to worry about anything. So
perfect height, right?
Yeah, it's perfect height for most people, but yeah.
And there's talent in all areas. Like, I mean, like y'all have been saying, you don't have to have physical penetration to create an orgasm. I mean, it's possible to do it through other means, and it's very possible, So, it's about using what you can use and doing what you can do, even if there are limitations. I know for me, I'm a partial para. And so, I mean, I deal with, ejaculation issues and a digressive feeling. So, like with Shawn, I can relate to him because when he says, he doesn't feel it as much. Yeah, I can relate to that, but my hands, I can feel very much, and so sometimes it's almost better for me to please my wife because I actually feel it also,
Right.
And so there's.
And don't the ideal of you pleasing your wife, does that help also? I heard men say that also, like, just the idea that that you're satisfying your wife.
Yeah.
Is good.
It's a big confidence. It's a big confidence boost to know that I can do something that really pleases her. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will share one thing that I had that was kind of odd, and maybe you guys can enlighten me on this a little bit. Well, actually, you know what? Let me save this for the next show.
Go ahead. We got
time?
Yeah.
Okay. So back before I met my wife and I was dating, I had an experience where I had Viagra and we were in the middle of sex and she was on top and I felt this pain in my left leg and my inner thigh. And then all of a sudden the blood started flowing through my legs and I had so much sensation going through my legs and hips that I had never had before. I had complete feeling. I was moving my feet, I was moving my legs, and I'd never had that happen. I mean, I've had this disability since birth. And just to give you an example, the feeling that I have had when I was a little baby, I chewed on my toes and they became bloody, but I couldn't feel them, you know?
Mhm.
And my mom thought it was rats, and it was me. I was just playing around. I didn't know any better. And I was just like 1 or 2, you know, I was just in that infant stage. And so to get complete feeling for me was overwhelming. And it was one of those things where I couldn't even tell if it was pain or pleasure at that point. It was just like an overwhelming amount of stimuli. But it was very
You said
interesting.
you had taken a Viagra, right?
Yep. I had
So
I had
I'm not a medical expert. We've talked about this before the show.
yeah,
I'm not a
you're
medical
yeah,
expert.
you definitely not.
What happens is when you do that, capillaries open up, right?
Yep.
And it changes the blood flow throughout your body, okay? And it targets certain areas. And right on the inside of your thigh and around your hip is a very large nerve. I know a lot of people get a lot of nerve pain in that area. I do, especially very much so, my right hip all the way around going into my groin. So probably for what you were experiencing was the blood flow change due to the medication that you were taking, and that changed it, and then you're not used to that feeling, so then it became an extremely heightened and aware.
Oh yeah, I mean it was
over
just,
aware, you know.
yeah, it
You
was.
know what? Well, with me being a incomplete parent, I have certain, like, my sensation goes up and down.
Wait.
Sometimes. I'm sorry. Go, Eric.
No, I'm agreeing with you. My sensation floats around my body. Some days I can feel certain areas, some days I can't.
Right, and yeah, and that's how I am, far as even with sexual. You know what I'm saying? As far as with sex or whatnot, some days it's like right on point, and then sometimes this is like getting a very good massage. You know, so that's kind of how. And I asked my doctor. You know what I'm saying about it or whatnot, and she was like, it just like you said, it's a blood flow. It's part of your injury. And things of that nature. Like, and then sometimes, like when I get to that point, I have to piss. I'm like, I can't control either the nut or I'm gonna piss or what it's gonna be, you know. So, but she said that it's part of. She said this is part of the injury, the level of injury that I have.
Yeah. So like a lot of times with autonomic dysreflexia, right? So what it'll do is we are so over aware of our bladders, right? And our urine and our bowels. We're so over aware of it that when another sensation comes through those areas, so say ejaculation or anything of the sort, right? We automatically, like without even thinking of it, boom, instantly go, oh shit, I gotta pee, because if you wait too long, then autonomic dysreflexia kicks in, and then it's a whole nother ball game, right? Everything's ruined.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes you have to, and it took me a while to do this. You know, I was terrified to ejaculate at first because I thought I had to pee, and I was like, oh my god, it's like feeling like you have to pee, but you can't pee, and then all of a sudden, you know, so.
Right.
I think that's where the nitro paste or the nitro bid comes in, and that can be used both for men and women. That's not just a male thing. If you experience any of those types of symptoms, as far as AD goes, when it becomes to sex and that stuff, man, I'm telling you, just little tiny drop right in your hand, and you're good to go.
You're dropping some serious knowledge there, because
yeah,
I'm sure a lot of people, me included, I had no idea about that until I talked with you, and you know, I didn't even know that was even possible to help with. So that's good.
Have you tried it?
Not yet. I have to go to the doctor. I kind of avoid doctors, to tell you the truth.
That's weird.
Yeah, but you can teleconference now. Just teleconference your doctor and be like, hey, I need some nitro bid.
Yeah.
That's
Is it nitro bit? Is that what it is? Nitro bid?
Bid, B-I-D.
Nitro bid. Okay.
Yeah, it's really just a nitro paste that it's a lower. It's different. Like it's lower than taking like a nitroglycerin pill, right? Like you take one of those. Those last for elongated periods of time. When you have the paste, you can just put it on, and then when you're done, you can wipe it off really, really well, and you know it'll go away within 15, 20 minutes. You know, so
Yeah, and I would bet that stuff lasts quite a while too. I mean,
yeah, I mean I've had the same bottle of NitroBid for 9-10 years now. I mean you only use a tiny bit of it, so you know.
It's not like you're lathering your whole body up with it.
No, you'd be dead.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Everybody listen. Do not listen to Eric. Do not lather yourself in NitroBid.
So what you're telling me is just a little bit will do you.
Yeah, just a dab will do you.
Okay.
After look at me, I'm gonna need some after COVID. Let me see that face. COVID has put a damper on this sex life. This sex life is non-existent, and I can't take it.
Yeah, it's tough. You know, it's tough for a lot of people right now. I'm sure it is. It's tough for a lot of people. I know a lot of people are suffering right now. So especially anyone who's single, that's got to be just rough. You know,
it's beyond rough.
Yeah. No, believe me, I was there for 40 years, so I get it. So
yeah. Anyways, look, I think we're running short on time. I thought we did a good job today. Thank you to our guests, Meagan and Laronda. Always welcome back. I know we're going to try to do a second part of this. So if you're listening and you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. Hit subscribe so you know when the next one comes out, because we will get to your question. If you leave a question, we'll get to it. And yeah, as far as that goes.
Yeah, I'll cycle through the millions of questions. So
yeah, leave it up to Eric. The more questions you can ask, the better, because I want Eric to work harder.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you, Meagan.
Thank you for being
Always
on.
a pleasure.
And thank you for speaking openly and honestly and being candid with these kind of things. It's not the easiest thing to do. So
yeah, and it was a good balance to have both, male and female on the show for sure. I think it really rounded out the perspective, and it's in a good way, in a very good way. So
again, like I said, thank you so much. We will be back in a couple weeks when we shoot the next one. I think we're at every other week right now. So again, hit subscribe, hit like, leave a comment. We'll get to it, especially when it comes to this stuff. If you have any questions in regards to positioning, to toys, to medications, to all these different things that we just talked about, and you want some more clarity and maybe some other options of the sort, leave a comment. And I'm sure Laronda has your answer, or Meagan has your answer, or I have your answer.
Yeah, I don't have your answer.
Well, Eric knows how to find us.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right. I will seek these people out. I will stalk them if I need to.
Yeah. And again, we thank you for listening. We appreciate you all. Peace.
Peace.
Take care, everyone.